this is, I think, loosely based on quantum physics. Everything is energy. That's the starting point. So, and everything is energy. That is inclusive. So there's no one out of that. It's like the sun again, you know. But that also includes everything, including, quote unquote, if he or she or it or whatever exists, God, because it's inclusive. Everything is inclusive.
I will just make the point, though, if you want to be inclusive, you've got to go a hell of a lot beyond quantum mechanics and physics.
Well,
because
again,
that really it's just dealing with matter on a proto-matter
no, I'm not talking
level.
about matter, though.
I know, but quantum physics really only looks at proto-matter and the formation of matter.
As I understand it, I mean,
but I'm saying, you know, you've got to go far, far, far further back.
Well, I think, yeah, I know
other
what
states
you're saying.
Beyond any kind of manifestation.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, let's explore that, because I'm not quite sure what you're saying. If you're saying that there is another, if you like, what's the word? If there's another basis to existence outside of what we know as existence, so maybe your super consciousness, I don't know, or something which is outside our perceived dimensions, then you may be right. I don't know. But my sense is that if everything is energy, and I know energy is one of those words that, you know, is not the best, but my take on it is that that is all inclusive of everything, God, every single dimension that ever could, ever would, and does exist. So, you know, the whole package. And package, again, you know, it's like words, because package implies limitation, and it's not. But I can't describe it in an unlimited sense because there is no word, right? So that's where I'm coming from. Now, within that, but still within the whole, are, if you like, the individuations that you're talking about, okay, the sun's rays again, right? The individuation, because we classify them as individuations. Remember that we're only classifying ourselves as individuals, you know, because we perceive ourselves, because you're looking across the table, you know, we're looking through our five senses, and I see you standing or sitting there, right? But energetically, we are identical. We're vibrating at a different level, but in terms of physical bodies, the only reason I see you is because I have five senses and so on. So we are, you know, again, one in that sense.
Yeah. Now,
so that's the starting point. Everything is energy. We're all vibrating at different... So the only distinction I would maintain, or I believe, and I may be wrong, is the vibration, the resonance. Right? That's the only distinction. Now, we perceive, of course, more distinctions in...
What is vibrating?
Well, energy. That's what's vibrating.
So there is a quantum of energy which is vibrating, which gives you your sense of you-ness. You being you.
That's what distinguishes...
I'm another quantum of energy vibrating in a different way, which gives my sense.
Yes.
And if I vibrate at different levels...
sense is the wrong word, but...
Okay. But if I vibrate at different levels, I will perceive...
Well, let's put it this way. You're vibrating with certain qualities of vibration, and I'm vibrating with certain different qualities of vibration. Some will be the same, some will be different.
So in the big scheme of things, even though everything is single energy,
yes,
it's quantized to the extent where different parts of that energy might vibrate in different
Let me put
vibrations.
it another way that may be simpler to understand. We've taken on,
But how can something which is one take on something individual?
Well,
that means that the whole must have the potential for quantized existence.
It's like splitting the atom.
Okay, so it has the potential for quantized existence.
Yeah.
And in that level, then something is vibrating at one level, something's vibrating at another. And in that lower vibration, as you say, we start to become much more wrapped up in the individuality of our being. rather than seeing that actually we did come from a common source.
In fact, we choose a vibration that brings that inherently. We choose a vibration that brings...
We actually just said the same thing.
Yeah.
Probably...
In different ways, yes.
In terms of how this is being chopped up, it was probably 1 or 2 videos ago.
Okay.
So viewers, rewind.
Well, no, but I think...
But it's exactly the same thing.
Yes.
What we're actually saying is that, in one sense, there is one totality, but it has the potential for quantized states.
Yeah.
And therefore, parts of it can take on a different vibration, which gives it a different sense of itself, and which you can say either is just a lower vibration or is an illusory state because it's no longer seeing itself as it might have done prior to that state. And so we could become wrapped up in this individuality, and we sense the differences rather than seeing the totality. But where the Vedas actually starts to get absolutely brilliant is that you've got the totality, then it starts to vibrate lower into these different kind of individuals, which almost become hard objects, beings which we think are separate from each other.
Yeah,
and therefore we have to kind of get out of that and get back into being the whole again. However, it then says that you can go and sort of vibrate even higher than that, so that this potential for individual quantization no longer develops a sense of individual kind of selfish ego personality, but develops into bhakti, which is the devotional connection that then binds the whole together in a whole different way. So rather than just being the kind of neutral that, I'm seeing everything as one, you now actually start to see the quantized states in a whole different way, in a sense of love. So there's the individual kind of ego level, there's the state of actual pure nirvana, seeing everything all together, and then there's the state of prema, where you're starting to sense the individuality, but not in the old ego way, but in prema, in pure love.
So is that the soul level? Is that the God level? How would you equate that with
what we... you're using these God, soul words, which are borrowed from a philosophical tradition, which is a different model.
Yes.
It's a different model.
Okay, yes.
And as soon as you start mixing them up, you're going to get into trouble.
So how do we bring them together? Or
well,
where do they come
sometimes you
together?
can do it just by saying yes. I mean, you can sometimes just generalize and just say yes. This sense of love for us all and for the source is the soul and God. But as soon as you say that, you're kind of doing it a disservice. You're not really giving it the quality that I think, quality of the vision of what we're talking about. And you start to get wrapped up in kind of ordinary, mundane, man-made religion again. We could have, higher vision.